Right guys, welcome back. It's been a while, I believe it's been a month or so. Right, so what have I been doing? Not a real lot to be honest. Except for there's a new one under there. Well, not really new, but you know me, it's new to me. Right, so a little backstory about 7 or 8 years ago now. The last two body shells that I bought was this one, the Proline GMC Top Kick. It was always intended to go on my Traxxas E-Max, and then while googling images I saw that it looked good as a crawler, as a scale truck, so I deliberated over that. Couldn't ever get it to work, but then I've had more experience with crawlers and trail trucks since then, so then I plumped last few months ago to paint it black, and here we go. Right now, as you can see, it doesn't look much different, but there are little differences. Like, first of all, yeah, we'll come to the Land Rover in a minute because I bought these for the Land Rover. I bought these scale, like little hex heads, like standard wheel bolts, and they're for the beadlock rings on crawler wheels. They are cheap crap. I mean, even for Chinesium, they are awful. They come with, I don't know if you can see it, there's like a little slightly bigger piece there. That's the... Do you know, for the welding, mate? I can't think what that's called. It's the thing, God, my brain has gone. You screw them down with it anyway. It's like the same size as the head, and it's already rounded, so I cannot screw them in, so now I'm having to drill a slightly bigger hole and glue them in. But anyway, I bought them for this puppy here, which all I've done with this is it's sporting some its old wheels, because they're the only ones that are strong enough to hold up without really flat spotting when it's on the shelf. I should have done this one earlier, but I bought them as scale bolts to go into the bumper that my friend printed for me. Well, it's not a bumper, it's so much of a metal panel that you bolt things to, like your tow hitch and hand steps for the back and stuff. I always start coughing when I do these videos, but that's a new one. Proper joking, eh? Right, I bought them for that, and then as I'm looking around, I'm thinking, what else can I use them for? Now, this is the original wheel on this, as you can see. There's 4 little dots there where it looks like there should be wheel bolts, and now there is. Phone isn't really picking them up because it's not detailed enough, but they look fantastic on there. They really do look the business. And that, and see this little light box here. That's just part one. I've coloured them blue with a good old Sharpie, and put these lights in. Now I found these while we were out shopping for Christmas presents and stuff. I found these are battery operated fairy lights. You can't really see them, but they're like the little SMDs. So they give more of a marker light sort of appearance when lit. It's sold out of the warm white ones, so I got the ice blue ones, which is a little... Yeah. But anyway, there's enough of these to cover all the lighting for this truck. The rear lights and the front lights. And there's a load left over, which I'll have to work out. Oh, more important thing. Wing mirrors. That one doesn't fit properly because I drilled it wrong. But these are, as you can see, New Bright. I don't know what they're from. But I've had these lying around thinking at some point I will use them on something. Let's lift it up so you can see them properly. Now it looks like iron hide. Because it comes with like big car mirrors rather than... on the actual GMC Top Kick, they come up on an arm and come straight up. So they actually look like horns or ears on the real thing. And all I need to do now is the side steps and the stacks, and it is done. Now, at some point, my real car has cost me a lot of money in the last couple of months between MOTs for those in the UK and the government certificate of roadworthiness basically everywhere else. It's cost me a lot of money, so I've had to spend my birthday money on the real car, so I've not had any money to spend other than the $6 for those. So it needs a new bumper, because this bumper is, well, most of it's missing. I didn't cut that off, that's how it came. That's not how it was pictured. It had a full front section, so that's just a temporary thing. I want to get some metal bumpers for this. So when I get that metal bumpers, I'll cut the back one off. No point chopping at the body till I know how big the bumper's going to be. I'll see if I can find some that look like road armour, which the real Ironhide has. Right, so that's that one. Let's shift it out of the way. Right, so as we discussed, the Land Rover, I've not really done anything with it. I swapped over the electronics to the new Dumbo RC remote. Disappointingly, the Hobbywing G2, 1080 G2 that's in there has real driving mode. So, in theory, I press forward to go forwards, then I press this button and pull to go forwards to reverse, and it should not go in reverse if I do that. It did work on the old Dumbo RC remote, but doesn't seem to work on this one. It still goes forward and backwards and brake. Disappointing, because I was right looking forward to using that mode, but everything else is awesome. The adjustable drag brake, I swapped in the old, it's a Traxxas pinion gear actually, but it's exactly the same size as the original one, and it's quieter but not as torquey. So the Holmes Hobby motor isn't, it's a good motor, but it's not up to the weight of this thing. So when I save up the money I had to spend on my real car, I'll be getting a Fusion SE for this, because it needs that sort of power. Right, so this one, I haven't done anything at all with this one, but what it leads up to me is the next step for this before I can do any more upgrades or fixes or add motors is, as you can see, this is just basically a floating trailing arm at the moment, as I need to make a chassis plate to fasten this to, that then can fasten this to the body. So that's the next step for that. That's why it's out, because when I make the chassis plate for that, I'm going to use the same stuff to make a chassis plate for this. Right, now what is this? I hear you ask, what is it? I got this out for my daughter and I rebuilt it, and I thought she will love it because it's her childhood car. She went, very politely went, that's a pile of crap. I'm not 14, I'm not 11 anymore, so can I have a new one? I don't like the pink. And I'm like, all that work to get the chassis to fit that. I'm like, Right, so what did I do? I did not stand on my laurels. I did what she asked, and ta-da! You can't really see it because it's a clear body, but this is a Proline Desert Rat. It's the same style as that, just short course shaped. So what did I do? I repurposed the chassis, and as you can see, I've modified this. I have 3 of these. The other one of these is under the VW Polo up there, because basically it's the same as the Team Associated Pro Rally. All the running gear are the same. All they did was make a plastic chassis and move the motor, and made prettier pieces. That's all they did. Everything else is the same. All the diffs and the A-arms and all, because they're actually Team Associated body mounts. So as you can see, it's pretty much a repurposed, rebranded car. So I have these bits of chassis pieces that are, like, when I've made versions of this to fit on other cars. So this chassis was actually at one point designed to fit under the shell. The cruel irony, the cruel irony. It was done, it was built, and I trashed it to make that, which she then didn't want. So, right, yes, so what am I doing with this now? She likes the black. As you can see, most of my cars are black. Kind of a theme. I didn't paint that when it came black, so. Right, so what am I going to do with this now? I had a Traxxas Slash back in the day. Now, this picture's about 10 years old. Recognise the wheels? Yes, they're on that truck. Them wheels. Everybody goes on about the quality of Tamiya tyres, but they're Tamiya Blackfoot tyres from the 80s. They're original Blackfoot tyres, and then have been on brushless and all sorts. Still going. Right, so this is the original. This was that was actually a Proline Slayer shell. Now the Slayer and the Hardcore shells were identical, other than that the Slayer was for the Nitro, and it was 2mm thick. It didn't go dong like that. It was like proper solid, and I regret getting rid of that every day since I got rid of it. Yeah, it was a beautiful car. But I was having a clear out. I decided I was getting out of the hobby, and I started shifting cars, and then realised I didn't want to get out of the hobby. I wanted to keep it. So I still have that decal that was on the bonnet or hood there. So I painted it black, realised it was a bit boring and it needed some colour. So all the yellow is vinyl. But I always said I would repaint it. I'd get another one, but now that I've learnt how to paint more complicated designs on the inside of the shell, I'm going to recreate this shell on this body. But ironically, these side pieces on the fenders here are completely flat, whereas if you notice on this, they're not. They have like a shape. So whether I'll be able to recreate it exactly the same as... Oh yeah, there you get a better look of it there, look. Whether I'll be able to recreate this exactly as this, I don't know. Because it had different mirrors. These big pods weren't here. So this was yellow, this visor. The hood was yellow, and then the yellow came from here across this, down the flanks and over the top. And I thought that looked incredible. It was the body shell was on a Stampede right there, which I then converted to the Slash. So there you go. Now I have Proline stickers. I have other stickers. The only real difference between the Desert Rat and the Hardcore was this piece at the back. They moved the standard pieces around, so the fans are at the bottom, whereas they were at the top, and vice versa. But pretty much the only difference is this piece was bigger. Really, but there you go. And that's the plan. Now I have missed shell painting season, so unless we get some unseasonably warm weather, and weather has been up and down like a roller coaster in the UK. We went to the seaside at the weekend, and when we got there, and just before Storm Bert arrived, we thought, oh, we'll go by train, we won't take the car. We got stuck in Preston with 2,000 angry Scots people who couldn't get back to Scotland, who were pushing and shoving. I mean, that's not because they were Scottish, but they were humanity, awful stuff. So yeah, and it was, my story was, it started off bitterly cold, and then it went warm and wet, and then it went cold again, and it's done the same here. I mean, it's been warm today. It's warm enough to have been painting today, but yesterday it was -2. So good old Blighty. The weather never changes here. In fact, the irony is it's constantly changing, which is what doesn't change. Anyway, right, so that's the plan so far. The Polo is complete. The Chevy has got the old wheels from the Land Rover on it, and now that is complete. I'm not changing that again. That is getting some work. I'm going to put that body on an Emax and make it look like the Clodbuster that the shell is supposed to be. I'm going to put it on a big monster truck, and that chassis is going to go under my Lexan Sandscorcher shell, which is now currently not sat on anything. So there we go. Can't remember what's on the Emax that was on. Anyway, we'll do another video just for the Emaxes, because I have 3 of the damn things. Right, so there we go. Thanks for watching, peeps. More soon. Thanks for watching. Please rate, subscribe, share this amongst your friends and family, and make me a superstar. Bye.